Hey guys, what's up? So it's Primoz. Welcome back to the Road to Seven Figures. So we kind of started this project, I don't know when, in November, December, probably in December. And the idea behind this project is really simple. So I'm running, an online business that's beyond six figures now. And I know over the next few years, I'm going to get my business to seven figures. And I thought it would be just really cool to document my journey and share all the things that I learned along the way so other people can do this in the future as well. And they can learn from my mistakes rather than having to make their own mistakes. And I noticed that nobody really did that in the past. Nobody created, a seven-figure business and documented every single step of going from 6 to 7 figures or something like that. So, last year I said to myself, I'm going to be the person who does that. And then there were holidays. There was probably a product launch of my flagship course, Ultimate Guide System. Then I moved into a new apartment. Then I was a little bit burned out. So let's just say not that much writing got done. And then, at the back of my mind, I was constantly thinking, well, I really want to do something with this project, but I'm already creating, my own blog posts about other topics that I'm talking about. And, I don't want to write more. But then on the other hand, I wanted to start doing some video stuff. So I was thinking about, hey, how can I bring the road to seven figures to life? What can I do to make it fun, to make it valuable, to make it useful to people? And instead of making it in the written form, which obviously isn't working because I haven't really been doing it, I thought I would experiment with doing it in the video form because, even if I'm tired, maybe it's a little bit harder for me to write really good stuff or really long blog posts. But I noticed, that I can always record a video like this. So with these videos, they're going to be really unprofessional. They're going to be hopefully daily for the next 30 days as an experiment to see what happens. And hopefully they're going to be valuable to you. What I'll focus on is just talking about, one major thing with each video. There might be some rambling because these aren't scripted. These aren't going to be edited. The idea here is to not make this content perfect, not to make it another big project, another thing that I'll procrastinate. The idea is very simple. Like in line with my theme of not being an asshole, which is a blog post you can read on my website. My theme for 2018, don't be an asshole. In line with my theme, I decided this year that I would create a lot more content online, which means, written content, video content, and so on and so on. And the reasoning is very simple. The reasoning is that over the past few years, I've done a lot of amazing things. I've built, an online business out of Slovenia, going from earning $7 per hour to running a six-figure online business, working with some of the, top mentors out there in the online business world, like Ramit Sethi, Selena Su, and Derek Halpern. I've had an incredible journey that I'm so, so grateful for, but I also feel like I just shared like 0.5% of that journey online, which kind of sucks. Like I've shared a lot of things with my audience, with my email subscribers, with the people who mean a lot to me, but I'm kind of being guilty of not sharing enough of my journey online publicly, which is what I want to accomplish with this. So whether you're running a six-figure online business and want to get to seven figures, or if you're just interested in like, what does running a six-figure business actually look like and how can I get there, you're going to find these videos extremely useful because I'm going to be talking about my day-to-day basis, what I'm learning, what I'm doing, what's working, what's not working, and so on and so on and so on. And then maybe we'll also get this transcribed. We'll see. Apparently, it's a good idea to transcribe them to, create more like ranking for your website. And I can imagine that not everybody will want to, listen to these videos. So you might want to just read from them instead. Although I will say, if we transcribe this, it's going to be fun to read because I say things like, a lot. So I don't know. That's going to be an interesting experience. Okay, so today the thing I want to talk about is, I think, something that all of us need to do, which is creating more content. I think a lot of us get really stuck in, we have periods of time when we create a lot of content or we write a few blog posts and everything's going really, really well. Even, if you're like super successful, even if you've already had a successful online business, you have periods when you're more productive, when you get more done, when you create an insane amount of content, and then you have periods of time when you don't create a lot of content. Like for me, I've written, I think, my first blog post of 2018 on I think it was 9th of January, but before I pretty much haven't published anything in like a month or even more. And I think times like that always come. You're burned out, you get busy with client work. There's always things that you can do that are not creating content. But at the end of the day, if you look at the top experts in the industry, if you look at people who run 7-8 figure online businesses, you'll notice that when they started out, they were all creating a lot of content. And by creating a lot of content, like, lots of, blog posts or, ultimate guides or whichever strategy or videos, whichever expert you follow, they probably have, created a lot of content over time to build their following and to build up their traffic, consistency of traffic to their website. And there's no going around it. Like, yes, you can, start, like having some traffic streams if you get some media coverage or something like that. But those things usually die out. So if you want consistent traffic on your website, you'll want to be always creating consistent website on your consistent content on your website, as well as on the websites of other people. And I'll say I've been kind of like guilty of not doing that as much because I relied on ultimate guides, which have been a great tool, which have created a great source of consistent traffic on my website. But then I also realized that if I really want to become one of the, most known experts online, if that's my dream, if that's my vision, if I really want to impact millions of people, it's not enough for me to write, one ultimate guide over the, few months and then, launch my products in between. I think that's not enough because I have just so much information that I want to share with people, so many people that I want to help. And that's why I said, okay, I'm going to keep writing ultimate guides. I'm going to keep writing epic posts and things like that. But not every single thing has to be super epic. Maybe in the beginning, when you're just starting out, when nobody knows who you are yet and they have no reason to kind of like read your blog posts, maybe at that point, it doesn't make sense to, just write a lot of, weekly blog posts and figure out, and people will somehow find you. But when you get to like a 6-figure business level, when you already have a strong foundation of expertise, when you know how to get people on your email list, when you have clients, when you're, attracting more and more paying customers, you have products to sell and so on, I think it makes sense, to really put the pedal to the metal and create more content to further grow your business. And that might mean free content and it might mean paid content in terms of like, offering different services and products to your customers, which is actually something that I wrote about in today's blog post, which you can look at. It's a blog post about scaling your online business to 6 figures this year. I talk about a couple of strategies, and creating more content kind of ties into all of that. Now, there's one thing that I noticed, and as I've said, I am as guilty as anyone else of not creating consistent content over time. And we've had top online entrepreneurs like Derek Halpern even admit publicly that they had, dry spells of creating content. But if you're building an online business and if you're just starting out with your online business and, you're watching this and you're not creating consistent content, then the question is, are you really building an online business? Because like we can work on things like research and planning out our business idea and creating a plan and creating a content strategy and all those things. But at the end of the day, if you want to build an online business, you have to be out there because you can have all of your knowledge in your head. But if you're not actually sharing that knowledge with people, they can never read about it. They can never hear about it. They can never, have a chance to work with you, to recommend it to their friends. So while you might be the expert, if you're not actually sharing your knowledge with other people, you're doing them a huge disservice. Now, where I'm getting to is I see a lot of online entrepreneurs in the earlier stages. They're like, working on their businesses day in, day out, but they're not producing anything. It's like they publish one blog post every 2 months. It's like at that stage, you don't stand a chance against someone who's publishing, 10 blog posts every month. And I'm not saying you should, create that many blog posts every month. But if they're producing a lot more high quality, of course, content than you are, chances are you won't be able to, compete with them because you will never be found. Now, you can work around that through creating ultimate guides. You can create these amazing resources, which I think you should do. But even then, you should be creating these resources. You shouldn't be doing endless research or talking to people behind the scenes and doing all of these things. At the end of the day, if you want to build an online business, you have to put your ideas out there. Otherwise, nobody can see them. So that's the thing that's, on my mind today. It's like, if you're building an online business, stop worrying about making this perfect piece of content, or if people will like this, or if they don't like it, will they care about it? And instead of that, just test it and see what happens. Publish that blog post, publish that Facebook post, make that video. see what really sticks, and that's going to give you the information that you need to kind of pivot and go in the right direction when you see what resonates with your audience. Like even this video that I'm shooting right now, this is an experiment. This is a test. I'm doing this for 30 days. I'm going to record, these videos. I'm going to see what works well, what gets a better response, what doesn't get a good response. Do all of these videos even make sense? Like, does this get a good response? Like, does this whole series actually do something for my business? And then after 30 days, I can look at the data and I can analyze it and I can take it from there. And that's how I can learn and improve and then decide, hey, do I want to keep doing this on a daily basis? Should I do it on a weekly basis? Should I do it in a completely different format? But if I don't do that, I can keep wondering and thinking about it, hours and hours every week. What am I going to do with the road to 7 figures? Am I going to do, weekly videos, daily videos? I can think about it, not make a decision, not get anything done, waste my mental energy, and not help anyone. Or I can say, well, let's just do this. Let's try it out. Let's see what happens. And create more content that hopefully is going to be valuable to you guys. In the worst case scenario, even if this does nothing to grow my business, I know there's going to be people who are listening to this, who are going to find this useful, who are going to benefit from it. So that's why I'm doing this. So if you're listening to this, I really encourage you to think about how can you create more content and not just create it, but put it out into the world faster. Are there blog post ideas that you had in mind that you're like, people won't really care about them? Are there blog posts that you have finished but never written? Are there videos that you thought about, shooting, or interviews that you thought about doing? And if yes, I encourage you to put just one of those things into the world and see what happens. Because that's the only way that you can really grow your business, is by putting stuff out there rather than hiding in the shadows where nobody sees you. Very cool. So that's it for today. That's my lesson for you for today. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about something else. I have no idea what, but it's going to be fun. Okay, take care, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.